Both Governor Quinn and his Republican challenger Bruce Rauner want us to believe that they are reformers, and indeed every candidate says that they are. Quinn wants us to see him always as that reformer who was basically fresh out of school and waged campaigns with Sunday press conferences to draw attention to consumer issues and political reform issues like making the state legislature smaller, which he succeeded at many decades ago. Bruce Rauner wants to be seen as the outsider, the only one who can really, quote, shake up Springfield and make the special interests lose sleep at night, worrying about the reformist zeal that this independent guy who's too rich to be bought is going to bring to state government. In the case of Quinn, we looked again at one of the two federal investigations in his administration. One has to do with the Illinois Department of Transportation and patronage hiring there. The other has to do with the Neighborhood Recovery Initiative, which was Quinn's program that's been heavily criticized by the Auditor General of the state and by Republican lawmakers as well. We looked at one specific case of the Better Boys Foundation, and I think it showed how politics continues to really eclipse everything else that goes on in government, even in the Quinn administration over the past 6 years. And when we talk about the Better Boys Foundation, we're talking about the group that was the, quote, lead agency for this anti-violence program in the North Lawndale neighborhood on the west side of Chicago. Tens of thousands of dollars that the Auditor General said could not be accounted for or were not spent properly. None of it has been paid back yet. And two people who were at the Better Boys Foundation during that time have now gotten jobs, political jobs, free of merit hiring rules, free of anti-patronage rules with the Quinn administration in his Department of Aging. The executive director of the Better Boys Foundation at that time, as well as the woman who put on her resume that she oversaw NRI in North Lawndale for the Better Boys Foundation. Both landed political jobs. I don't think, however qualified the Quinn administration says they are, that was to the credit of the reformist agenda that the governor purports to have. Rauner is a first-time candidate, but I think there's plenty of evidence. We just saw yesterday in Monday's Watchdogs column by my colleague Chris Fusco that Rauner, as the chairman of Choose Chicago, which is a private group that subsists almost entirely on public money, on city and state money, a lot of the same business as usual went on at Choose Chicago that we see in so many other realms of government. You know, Rauner says he's going to take on Mike Madigan, but when he was the board chairman, plenty of lobbyists and other consultants with ties to Mike Madigan got quite fat at the trough of Choose Chicago. Between Quinn and Rauner, there's really no clear choice if you want to choose the candidate who is more committed to cleaning up Illinois government and to really changing a trajectory that began with two governors in a row going to prison.